Another amateur home handyman production. To-do list, have fun, learn, be yourself, be happy, laugh, inspire, all in the name of Jesus Christ. Laundry room utility sink faucet replacement. Tools needed: adjustable wrench, Phillips screwdriver, rubber gloves, sink stopper, towel, plumber's tape, replacement parts. Mounting configuration. Look at the sink and mounting holes. Measure the faucet centers. Check the surrounding space. Measure the overall height, the spout height, and the spout reach. Okay, this is CDQ Drop It Down Production. What we have here is another handyman job in the home. Today what we're going to do is we're going to replace this whole mechanism here. Yeah, this is leaking right up in here. It's been here for quite a while. I'm not going to even deal with just replacing the rubber stopper in there so I can stop the leak that formed this stain. So what I'm going to do is just replace the whole thing. And I'm going to go through that and show you how that's done. Hopefully everything will come out just fine. This is CDQ Drop It Down Production. And another thing is that I think I'm going to paint this stain here since it was leaking for a little while. Okay, so here's the replacement. And I believe it's the exact one. So you want to make sure that you do have the right sides replacement for this before you go through the steps of removing anything. Make sure everything is included in the box. Make sure you have the correct tools that you're going to need for that. I'll put that in the video as well as to what tools I used to replace this. Now this is the whole kit. As a matter of fact, I don't think that I'm going to replace the whole kit, which is all of the PVC plumbing replacements as well. I don't have any problems with that. So this is what they gave us here. Okay, and we're going to replace that. You can cover up the drain so that you don't lose any of your screws, nuts, or bolts in there as well. So we got that part. We got the hot and cold water tubing, which again, I don't think I'm going to need to replace that because I'm not having any leaks from there. The tape here as well. And that'll do it. Okay, so again, I'm going to just get a cloth to put over the drain so nothing goes in the drain. And then we'll start disconnecting everything. Okay, so there is the hot and cold water shut-off valves there, and what you do is you just pull them out to shut the water off. And let's see if I can hold this while I do that. So here's the one, and you just pull it out. You heard that click, and we do the same thing for the hot water one. And there you go. So I just pulled them off, and that'll stop the water from running. Okay, and then we can start removing everything from the top. Okay, to remove the faucet, we're just going to remove these little like little clamps here. You just put your fingernail in there and just remove that guy off, and we'll move them out the way. Put them somewhere where you don't lose it. If you put it back in the sink, remember, make sure you place something in the sink that will cover the drain. Here goes the cold water one. So we just remove these guys like such, and then that just takes a Phillips screwdriver to remove the hot and cold water handles. Okay, we're gonna see if we can remove this guy now. This is the rubber that these O-rings that I was telling you about that you replace when you have a leakage in either one of the hot or cold faucet handles. It's sometimes good to just replace that rubber right there, and that'll be where your leak is. So right back there is where I have to go to loosen that up and remove that. That's where it is, right there. So we'll see if we can get back there and loosen that guy up to remove that, and one on the other side as well. Okay, let's see what we can do. That took me a little while, to be honest with you. What I had a problem with underneath, just trying to remove the hose line that connects to the hot and cold water faucet. It was there pretty tight, and I didn't have a whole lot of leverage underneath the actual sink itself, the utility sink here in the utility room. So once I finally got that unloosened so that I could remove the old faucet, once the tubing is removed, you have these clamps underneath that kind of fasten the actual faucet to the sink itself. I had to remove two, one on either side, and then once I was able to do that, I was able to remove the old faucet and then try to make sure that the new one did fit the hose. That's why you have to measure from center to center when you order these. If you are replacing your old one, just make sure from center to center that the new one will fit. And so here's the new one here. It's the new one here. And you wanted to make sure that that fits. So mine's fit perfectly for that. And of course, I wanted to make sure that the actual PVC plastic would actually screw onto both the hot and cold water hoses underneath. So what I did is I just brought up one of the hoses here to see. I just brought up one of them, wanted to see if it would screw in it, and it did. So you want to make sure that you have the right connections. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this area up. I'm going to repaint that, and then we'll come back and we'll attach this on. Okay, so what I did is I just touched that up because it was pretty bad. We're going to let that dry for maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then we'll come back and put everything back together. Okay, we're back. What we're going to do is we're going to attach this guy here since the paint is dry. And you just want to make sure at this point, what I did is I wrapped each of the threads with the waterproof tape so that there's no leakage there. And you just want to make sure that the hoses, hot and cold, come up through the right hose and attaches to the right handles. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to put these in, and then we're just going to tighten this from underneath, secure the faucet to the dish bowl or the drain bowl. Okay, so I'm going to go underneath and tighten both of these, and we'll be back. Okay, I'm just going to make sure I tighten them up a little. You can kind of reach that underneath and just make sure it's centered. All right, that looks pretty centered to me. We'll go ahead and we'll attach the hot and cold water hoses to the faucet, and make sure that you put your tape on the threads. Okay, so I'm gonna go underneath here and I'm gonna tighten them up a little bit, and we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, that's what I tightened up the faucet to the sink bowl, which are these clamps right here. Where my hand is, if you could see that. No, my hand is in the way. Well, these guys here. And now we just want to make sure that these hoses, the right ones are going to the right place. And hopefully that'll sum it up. I got this one here in my hand. And pretty much you just want to get that started. I just tightened, hand tightened both of those guys. So I looked around and I found that this tool would have made a great deal of difference. I hope that the video was helpful, and I encourage you to please like, share, and comment. Thank you so very much for watching. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. May God through Jesus Christ both bless you and yours and keep you safe, now and forever.